Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the We're Not Stumped podcast. I'm your host, Mike Bolland, and welcome to headlines for the week of July 22nd. Today's July 25th. If you like these headlines or anything that I'm doing within the We're Not Stumped podcast universe, please like and subscribe to my channel. It's going to really help the algorithms and make sure that other people in the limb loss community can have access and be able to find some of this content, because it's very important that they do. Everyone's in a different part of their journey, and it's great that we're able to discuss some limb loss, amputee issues. I have many guests on the program, so definitely need your help. Get the word out. And if you know someone who wants to be on the podcast, please send them my way. Please send them to we'renotstumped.com. So let's get right to the headlines. Today's first headline is Camp No Limits empowers kids with limb loss. And this one comes out of Connecticut. And the story is, no matter what, you can do anything you set your mind to. That's what Camp No Limits proves to children with limb loss. Eyewitness News went to Quinnipiac University, and I hope I'm saying that right, where a summer camp is changing lives. 20 campers are letting loose, moving and grooving. This energizer activity is only the beginning of each camper's day. And here's a quote: "We have a lot of sports. We did sled hockey. We did wheelchair basketball. There's a gym we spend time running in and biking in," said Aaron Justice. It's a packed schedule, but one that 18-year-old Aaron loves. After 3 years as a camper, he transitioned to a volunteer. "It's nice being here and helping other people rather than being helped." Aaron is paying it forward. He said Camp No Limits is what got him the confidence to begin with. "The first year was definitely the hardest because I could barely walk with my prosthetic, and now I can do pretty much anything I can believe before." At 15, Aaron was diagnosed with osteosarcoma. Doctors recommended amputating his leg. It was a twist of fate that many other mentors and volunteers can relate to. Here's another quote: "The earthquake started and the whole building fell on me, and I was buried for so many hours. I thought it was the end of the world," says Jazz Careless, a mentor. Jazz lost her leg at 14 during an earthquake in Haiti. "That's when I found out I was in such bad condition that they had to bring me to the United States, and that's when I found out they had to cut my leg," Jazz said. Two different people, two different stories. That's definitely something we hear a lot. But now, both Aaron and Jazz are helping children navigating life without a limb. Camp No Limits is in 11 locations nationwide. Quinnipiac University hosts the 4-day camp in Connecticut. Occupational therapy students get to take what they've learned in the classroom to the campers. Typically, anyone with upper extremity limb loss or limb difference, they come and we do a ton of fun things. Usually we show different adaptive ways to put their hair in a ponytail or cut an apple on a cutting board. That was said by Emma Gatz. She's with the Masters of Occupational Therapy program. Emma said at the end of just 4 days, you can see a night and day difference in each camper's confidence. There's something special that happens in this building. I couldn't even explain it to you how special it is, Emma said. Well, thank you, Emma. Thank you, Jazz. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, everyone, for Camp No Limits, for what you're doing. I'm sure everything's going great. I'd love to have you on the podcast in the future, someone for your organization. We'd really appreciate it. So let's go to headline number 2. Detroit prosthetics innovator Chris Casteel is honored as BOC's 2024 Certificate of the Year. Chris Casteel, owner of A New Life Prosthetics and Orthodontics, has been living with limb loss since age 24. And again, he's the co-owner of A New Life Prosthetics and Orthodontics in Detroit, and he's been named the Board Certification Accreditation's Certificate of the Year, an especially personal award since Casteel has been living with his own limb loss since the age of 24. I'm going to quote Chris: "This recognition encourages me to continue advocating for O&P, which is orthodontics and prosthetics, the advancement, and to remain dedicated to providing the best care possible for my patients and the community." That was his quote. Casteel incorporates technologies such as 3D scanning and printing for prosthetic sockets and other orthotics. He also initiated a monthly University of Michigan amputee support group that has expanded to other hospitals. His volunteer work has included assisting disabled individuals in Haiti after the 2010 earthquake. Founded in 2011, A New Life is a provider of orthotic and prosthetic care for a range of patients, from children to seniors, underhoused individuals, business leaders, veterans, and hospice patients. And I'm going to quote Judy Knott here. We are thrilled to recognize Chris Casteel as the recipient of the Certificate of the Year Award. His dedication to delivering excellent patient care and customer service exemplifies the values that define our profession. Chris's contributions serve as an inspiration to all of us, and we are proud to honor him for his outstanding achievements. Chris, great job. Again, every time I'm going to sound like a broken record, when I read these headlines, when I find these headlines for the week, I always want to have the person on because I'd like to learn more about Chris, his journey as an amputee, and what he has done himself with his company and all the stories he must have. So, Chris, great job. Congratulations on your reward. Very well deserved. Headline number 3. NubAbility introduces children to the world of sports ahead of the Paralympics. And this comes out of DuQuoin, if I'm saying that right. It comes out of Illinois. Next month's Paralympic Games in Paris will showcase the world's top athletes with disabilities. This week in the Heartland, some kids with disabilities are getting an introduction to the world of sports. Golf clubs swing, basketballs bounce at the NubAbility All Sports Camp in DuQuoin. Executive Director Sam Kunert said the camp was created to give kids with disabilities a chance to play and compete in sports. NubAbility is a camp that was created by my mom and myself to give kids with limb difference and amputees, highly mobile cerebral palsy, a chance to come and compete in mainstream organized sports. Kunert says the camp has been introducing kids with limb loss to the world of sports since 2012. Kids like Anthony Weeks, and here's what Anthony has to say. I was born without the majority of my left forearm. Weeks hasn't let that stop him from doing what he loves, which is playing baseball. I've learned to adapt and focus on the good stuff. Good job, Anthony. This is Weeks' 4th year of traveling from his home in Kansas City to Illinois for the camp. He says connecting with other athletes is the best part. My favorite part of the camp is getting to meet other kids with hands and limbs like mine and just helping out younger kids, says Anthony. Our first year of the camp was really eye-opening for him. He stepped out of the car and looked around and saw 10 to 15 other guys that looked just like him. And he turned around and looked at me and said, "Dad, his arms are just like mine," said Dan Weeks, his father. He says the camp is a unique learning opportunity for his son each year. He plays baseball at home all the time, but he comes here and he learns from other guys that play college baseball that are built just like him. The theme for this year's camp is Gold-Blooded Champion ahead of the Paralympics. Kunert says the young athletes can look up to those competing in the Paralympics. What our Paralympians are doing, they're going out there and they're going to be champions. It's because they have that mentality, Kunert said. Well, great job from everyone at NubAbility, Mr. Sam Kunert, certainly your family. You said your mom started it, Anthony Weeks and your dad. It was fun to hear that story. I think it's great to have these organizations around. You know, that's something that I personally didn't have when I was a kid. It was definitely didn't see other people like me, which is fine because at the end of the day, I feel like we have to be strong mentally, which, you know, when I see everyone concentrating on sports, I talked about 2 sports things today. When are we going to start talking about the mental and along with the physical? I think that's something that has to be done within our community. And I'll say something else. When it comes to employment, that's one of the things that's the most difficult within the limb loss, limb difference, amputee community. But when it comes to our community, all we seem to want to talk about is athletics. And I know it gains confidence. Listen, I was on the Pro Bowlers Tour, and I play every sport. I've been on TV playing basketball, golf, being a pro bowler. But there's more to life than sports. And if you're going to be successful in life, you have to be very well-rounded. So at some point, I think we, as a community, need to start talking about the mental health and the employment opportunities, and including dating and getting along with other people that may not be like you. Those are the things we need to do. So thank you for listening to me for the headlines for the week of, what week was it? July 22nd. Today is July 25th. Please, again, like and share and subscribe to my channel because it will help the algorithm, and more people that are like us or maybe like some of your friends will understand these stories. It's important that they are able to find and share this information. Have a great week, everyone.